Good morning, everyone. I am CA Shruti Gupta, moderator for today's Valuation Manthan session, Understanding Demystifying IB Valuation in Tech Transfer, organized by Valuation Standard Board of ICAI. We are delighted to welcome you all to an enriching journey through valuation expertise. Let us start today's session by getting a welcome address by our Honorable Chairman of the Board, CA Hansraj Chugh sir. I invite him for his opening remarks. Sir is a Central Council member and Chairman of Valuation Standard Boards. So please guide us.
Good morning to one and all. I welcome you all to this series, which has really been taking a shape since inception. Today is the 26th session of the Valuation Manthan. Though fortunately, when the idea came in, it was been conceived by our co-chairperson in the board, Preeti Savla also. We were quite eager and enthu in bringing out something good, which is in continuance, which goes in a consistent manner, covering the different aspects on the valuation system of ecosystem of the economy as well as the profession. So with those kind of thought, this series has been brought in. And today we have with us Lalit ji, a person who is really having a command on the subject and a great experience also. He'll be sharing with IP valuation in tech transfer, demystifying. You see, like anything which has to be gone into the depth, deeping down on the subject is the highly importance. Now, just having a small knowledge or the knowledge which is not giving us the fullest impact or the optimum level, whatsoever we want to be, it is not justifying in the professional system. And now with those kind of concept, these valuation standard board, with the support of many external our resource people, like today we have a Lalit ji, same time at a different point of time we have a different speakers, those who have traveled a journey of their experience and bringing out in the different subjects, different system, their best of the knowledge for the strengthening the knowledge of each and every member or each and every stakeholder, those who wants to be a part of this learning journey of the learning. And many of our this moderators also. Today we have a Shruti Gupta with us. Same time, every time we have a those who are really been giving a best of the support to this board at a different point of time. As a moderator, as a speaker, or the internal or the external support, many ways we get the best of the support from the outside also. And the office team, Rahulji and Dimple here, they are always been proactive, whether it is the Sunday or the Saturday. Many times we feel like our officers and the team at the ICI, which are internally and fully with the ICI, they do not have the they are Monday to Friday, but it is not the case. Whenever the board or the team needs them, they are always there. So with the support of each and everyone, we bring best for the membership, and the members' sports always been, it is strength, it is a strength for us, always inspiring. The more and more members joins, and this the program started with a meager some hundreds, now it is in thousands, and reach out is all across, not limiting to our border lines of the country, but beyond the borders also. So those are the strength which are we are gaining with, and this board is proactive in bringing out so many new things. Very recently, we got a concurrence or the approval from the IBBI also related with the plant and machinery and related with the land and building. Going forward, we'll be bringing out some kind of the standards in those and bringing out many things which we as a professional understand with. Many a time multiple professionals join hands and they bring the ecosystem of that nature, where it is not the financial assets but going forward with the plant and machinery and land and building and other assets also. So those kind of collaborative approach has to be taken by the professional around us, so that we ultimately give to the whole ecosystem, whether it is the insolvency or the startups or the under some regulatory system or the business requirements or the requirements from the different perspective. So everything is covered with under one umbrella. That will be going forward a great need of the hour. So with this initial remarks and the welcome to, I once again welcome to each and every participants. I welcome the speakers, moderators, and the team at the office also. And hopefully, this learning of this today's IB valuation in tech transfer will be at the end of the session. You will be feeling more confident. You will be feeling more enhanced with your strength of the knowledge also. So, welcome you all, and hopefully, the our speaker will be justifying with, and the moderator will be taking care of the all the interactive mode. Because if without interaction, these kind of programs does not feel like it is a successful program. This has to be brought into the interaction mode, wherever any of the participants have anything to share with through the chat or through the system, they can enter into and they can put their questions or the any kind of the queries to the moderator, so that it can be taken care by our learned speaker also. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Over to you, Shruti.
Thank you so much, sir, for your welcome address and inaugurating the session. Thank you so much for guiding us in the right direction. So I will just take a moment to retell what sir already told, that we will be inviting questions and we will be taking questions in two parts, and Lalit sir will be guiding us with that. And I also request all the participants to fill the feedback form. The link is available on the webcast screen. So I'm really delighted to welcome our speaker for the day, Mr. Lalit Ambasthaji. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence. Sir is an IP attorney with more than 17 years of experience in the field of intellectual property. Sir is impaneled speaker with faculty as a faculty with Ministry of MSME and with Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Sir is also a guest faculty with IITs, Jamia, NIFT, IICA, and the list goes on. He's a regular speaker he's a regular speaker at various conferences organized by public and private institutions. You have a rich experience in IP prosecution, licensing, valuation, and technology transfer, and have serviced applicants like Delhi Metro, Honda, IITs, Viber, Olympic Association, India Railway, and many more, with specialized focus on general utility, chemical, medical, biochemical, herbal, agricultural, biotechnological, and electronic patents. You have earned the prestigious Certified Licensing Professional credentials. You have founded Patent Wire, a patent and technology consulting firm in 2008, which works in the core area of high-end patent and technology service. You are also a co-founder of IP Bazaar, a technology transfer company, InkPat, a patent illustration wing, and RIPA, a not-to-profit organization in the domain of IPR. Words are less to describe your vast knowledge and experience. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing us with your presence. We all here are eager to learn from you. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Shruti ma'am. Thank you, Chuk sir. It's my pleasure to present my knowledge or experience in front of the chartered accountant, all chartered accountant, right? So obviously I am from non-financial background, but I'm speaking. This is my privilege. This is my proudest moment. So I'm sharing my screen. Good morning to all. I think you must have certain expectation regarding this session. So just a second. So I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
So let's begin. This is about IP valuation in tech transfer. So today's session is basically to simplify the major aspect of IP jargons, because I feel also that we are not teaching IP in main course in many of our curriculum. That is why there are challenges while doing the IP valuation, and there are challenges while doing the technology transfer, because most of the time whenever a tech transfer is happening, there is a requirement of advocate, there is a requirement of CA, there is a requirement of CS, there is a requirement of business professional as well, and then the entire company. So obviously these kind of professional required to do one tech transfer. So obviously if our knowledge at same level, then we will do just like US and European uh, uh, companies are doing. So this particular session is all about that, the basic concept of IP aspect, so that you can include while you are doing your tech transfer part, and then the real technology transfer and IP valuation part. What are the factors? What are the, if we are taking a risk, we our discount factor, how we are calculating, while just saying 15%, just saying 50%, whether this will suffice the purpose, and then we will correlate whether we are in line with the IP valuation, mostly if I talk about trademark valuation or patent valuation. So I have divided this session two part. One is about the concept, why there is a requirement of more and more training, more and more learning in this area. And then the second part is the core part, uh, uh, how we are processing the IP valuation in technology transfer, right? So meanwhile, if you have any question, you can ask. I wish to have an interactive session, and if not possible, then you can just provide your question to Shruti ma'am, and then we will take. So after first session, let's suppose after 1 hour, we will take a certain question related to that topic only, and then we will move to second part, and then again we will take 10 minutes or 15 minutes questions. So our idea is to solve each and every question then and there, right? Not for homework, right? So coming back to our part. So since this is a matter of IP, so obviously I will also convey the concept of IP as per my experience. I know you are learned people and you are aware about the IP, but what are the other experiences that I have gained in 18 years? So I'm just adding with the concept so that it will be easier to understand. So whenever we say intellectual property, so how it is connected, how it is connected. So see, we are human being. Why we are human being? We are at top of the animal kingdom. Why we are top at the animal kingdom? Because of our intellect. So this subject is about intellectual property, and this subject is not as main course in many curriculum, including the CA part, including the advocate part, and all because of our intellect, we are creating property and we are filing and getting rights. So what is intellect? How we are creating? What are the other types? So through our intellect, what we are doing? We are creating Google. We are inventing so many technology. We are reaching to moon. We are writing a script. We are creating Facebook. We are also creating music, right? Composing music. We are also giving theory of E equals to MC square. All are output of what? Our intellect, human intellect. Animals, other animals like fox and lion and tiger, they are not doing, right? So we are creating, we are manufacturing each and every IT product, machines. We have a Chanderi, Banarsi sari as well. These are also form of our IP. Apple, we are creating where we have done many things in nuclear aspect as well. So how we are differentiating? If we talk about Google and Facebook, these are part of copyright. If we talk about script and music, these are part of copyright. If we talk about the aesthetic look, it is part of design. If we are talking about Chanderi and Banarsi sari, these are part of geographical indication. If we talk about the nuclear aspect, the trade secret part, whatever we are not disclosing to anyone, government wise or individual part, these are part of trade secrets. So there are various types of IP based on their attributes, based on their part. So these are types of IP, and these are all output of our intellect, and that is why we are human, right? So coming back to our topic. So obviously obviously, as per our life has also journey. So in the similar way, innovation has also journey. This sort of things we are not aware, and that is why the problem is we do not know whenever we have full journey innovation. First part is your generation. When you generate, whenever you have any idea, you are actually generating the IP. So whenever you are generating, you have to protect. You have to protect. This is just like you are giving birth, right? So if you conceive certain idea, you have to protect. If you have protected enough, then only you can enforce. Otherwise, you can't. And what is happening in India most of the time, we are generating, but we are not protecting. How? Like R&D Institute, what they are doing lab work 4 years, 5 years, and they are publishing paper. They are not filing patent application. So there is no protection. When you publish, then there is no protection, because as per patent and design, you have to first protect and then publish. This is the requirement. But many a times we are publishing first and then wanted to protect. That cannot be done because law does not permit. So if you have a protection, then you can enforce. And if you can enforce, then only you can monetize. If you have an enforcing power, only then you can monetize. And that is why the reason, like most of the universities, they are not monetizing the patent because they have not protected. If not protected, no company will invest, because they are aware that there is no enforcement. If there is no enforcement, how they will monetize? It's a very simple concept, right? 4 stages: generation, protection, enforcement, and monetization. This concept, by the way, is not written anywhere. This is given by me, Journey of Innovation. I am teaching this because this is very simple as Indian context, like US, European, they have a different form of journey of innovation. They are divided into 6, 8. But as per our understanding purpose, this is the very simplest part, right? Coming back to the impact of IP, whether there is any impact of IP, we are just talking. I'm talking, right? On IP. So whether there is any impact. So for entire chartered accountant, obviously, I'm presenting data. Without data, I cannot mention anything. So here, this is a Standard and Poor organization report. You are aware that they are the company. They are releasing each and every year top 500 companies, Fortune 500 companies in entire globe, right? So they are doing since many decades. So this is a part. So they are releasing the ranking on the basis of the valuation. This topic is about valuation. So how they are valuing? They are valuing through tangible asset and intangible asset. So they are calculating, and they are in this way, tangible plus intangible, and then they are saying that these are the top 10 companies, or top 50 company, or top 500 companies. So when they have performed this particular aspect, and you are aware that what is tangible asset and what is intangible asset. So for your information, if for intangible asset, mostly the brand value, the goodwill, and the IP part. So to describe the goodwill, I can say in this way: MIT, Muzaffarnagar Institute of Technology, having certain brand value, right? And then MIT, Manipal Institute of Technology, has certain brand value, and then MIT, the main one, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, having different brand value. In the similar way, NIT Patna has a different brand value, and IIT Patna has a different value. IIT Delhi and Mumbai has a different value. IIT Madras has different goodwill, and then Stanford has a different goodwill. So goodwill is a part of intangible asset, and then your entire IP. So when they have calculated, so during 1975, the 70% is written here, adding A plus B, tangible plus intangible. So 17% stands for intangible for Fortune 500 companies. After 10 years, it becomes 32%. 17% converted to 32%. In 1995, it converted to 68%. So out of 100%, 68% value because of the IP or because of the intangible asset. During 2005, it becomes 80%. And since 2015, it is somewhere around 84%. I think current figure is about 90%. So intangible asset, you see any company that you are working or you are associated, you just check whether they are holding the similar percentage, 90% of intangible asset. Apple, Google, Uber, all are, right? So whether Indian companies having the similar kind of ratio. So if we are hoping for to include any company in Fortune 500 companies, whether we are in the right path, so you can check. So this is the stats as per the report. So this is the impact of IP as well, and whosoever at top they are, and you just see the IBM, whatever list here, top 5 companies, GE, 3M, all are IP intensive industries. All are IP enabled companies. They are not just a simple company, right? GE, ExxonMobil, Coca-Cola, right? So this is the impact of IP. Then this is a US report. This is about IP intensive industries. So what sort of thing they are adding in GDP and adding in employment. So this is related to that. This is as per the report of USPTO. So you see that there is a GDP and employment ratio. So for patent intensive industries in US, 24% companies out of entire companies are related to patent matter, right? And that is why they are growing. And they are taking care of 13% of employment, like Boeing, like Apple, the Google, right? So they are holding 13% of employment. In the similar way, design patent aspect, there are 24%, and they are catering 15% of employment. In the similar way, trademark intensive, 37% is a part of their GDP. And this is overall IP matter, 37% belongs to trademark, and then copyright. So if we calculate the entire aspect, IP intensive industries in US pertaining to or contributing 41% in GDP and 33% in employment. This is as per US report. You can also check with India, right? So in the similar way, whether this is the same story in European Union. So you see this is a European Union, European patent attorney report, patent office report as well. Let's see the 2013 study, 2016 study, 19 and 22. The employment, direct employment from IP intensive industry is somewhere around in 22, 30%. GDP contribution is somewhere around 47%. And export of goods, we are user of technology from Europe and US, right? So where they are exporting in India, right? 80% export they are doing, all are related to IP intensive. So this is a great stats to learn, as well as we have to focus on these part. They are exporting where, right? So these are the, whether we have the similar report, whether we are doing the similar activity, you can check, right? So coming back to again Indian context. What is Indian context? So I figure out, I search the Indian report in IP intensive aspect. We do not have too much reliable data, but whatever reliable data, because I have to produce reliable data. So I'm producing here some reliable data related to R&D universities, R&D institute in India. So this is IT Madras. You can compare IT Madras with Stanford at least, right? So this is as per their annual report 2020-21. So see whatever they have generated from technology transfer. Whatever they have generated from technology transfer. If they are generating enough, that means they are into the right path. So technology transfer, they have executed in 1 year, just 28 project, and they have earned 2.3 CR only. just 2.3 CR. So you can easily calculate one technology transfer, how much money they are receiving. 5 lakh, 10 lakh, not more than that, right? So in India, the technology is selling at a rate of 5 lakh rupees, right? We are valuator and we are going to value, right? So 5 lakh is a technology transfer value as per IIT Madras. I'm not saying that each and every technology at 5 lakh, but their earning is just 2.3 CR. This is as per annual report. In the similar way, it might be I'm wrong, but again, I fetched the data from IIT Bombay. Again, there is an issue. They have received royalty just 2 CR, 1.95 CR. Right? Consultancy project is different. Sponsored project is different. Sponsored means government has funded 232 crore. Government has funded. But what they have generated? Just 2 CR. So this is the way we are doing. So where we are lagging in valuation aspect as well. Whether we are valuating in a right way. So again, you can check. So this is these two universities where we also feel proud, right? IIT Madras and IIT Bombay. And when I checked IIT Kanpur, there is no data related to technology transfer and royalty. In their annual report, IIT Kanpur is doing great job, but there is no earning in technology transfer, right? So in the similar way, I checked CSIR as well. CSIR has filed 14,000 patent application. Once, like in 2005-6, they were filing 1,400 patent application in a year. Now they have reduced to 110 and 120. But again, there is nothing reported on technology transfer and royalty. So that there is an issue, right? They have not reported. They have 14,000 patent application, but nothing in paper in terms of the generation, in terms of the technology transfer. You can check because this and the similar way the NRDC is 1954 they have started and they are the major body in doing the national the entire research development. Again, there is an issue because the generation part is not in public. I don't know the exact, though I'm interacting, but whatever they are generating is very less, and that is why they are not disclosing. So this is Indian scenario. And that is why our role is also important. If we understand these things where we are lagging, we will compare with the first world, US and Europe. Then only we can think over to become a third largest economy in the world, right? So in the similar way, but I'm not saying that we are not in the right path or right track. If you see the entire technology transfer in the entire world, so whatever patent is filing, only 3 to 5% is going through a technology transfer aspect. Only 3 to 5%. This is a worldwide stats. India, it might be less, below 1%. But worldwide stats is 3 to 5%. If I talk about the conversion of patent into a product, so generally, it's a worldwide stats as well. 84% of patent after granted, I'm talking about the granted patent, remains idle. That means only 16% is converting into a real product. So if you see the entire data of entire technology, so technology is basically at database only. Only 16% we are interacting, we are using. Because these 16% are converting into the product. So 84%, and that is why this is also a major issue. We are inventing with the focus of whatever available in the market. So what we are doing, we are actually reinventing the wheel because it might possible somebody has filed patent application. It is not converted into a product. It is available in the database and we are not checking database and we are reinventing the wheel. And trust me, we are also handling 14 university, many Indian client. Most of the time we are reinventing the wheel. Most of the time. If I say 80%, we are reinventing the wheel because we are doing research through the product. Whatever product in the market, but we have to also analyze whether products are new product or company is selling and they have improved, but we are not checking their improved version, right? Like Apple is improving each and every day. If we are doing research through iPhone 7, then this is not the right path of doing research. This is also major issue. Why I'm telling you? Because you are going to do the evaluation of technology. So you have to understand these factors, these jargons. These are bottleneck. These are the issue. So you have to check whether this technology is at iPhone level 7 or iPhone level 15. You have to check, right? So coming back to the Global Innovation Index 2023 just released, I think last week. So if you check, like national IPR policy introduced first time in India in 2016. 2016, they have given the roadmap how we will move forward. And by virtue of that, they have also reformed IP law for university, R&D, startups, stand-up, so many other aspects you are also watching, right? So by that uh, policy and by that reform, we are moving ahead in Global Innovation Index from 57 to 40. So this year we have the same rank, 40. So what is the meaning of Global Innovation Index? And what is the relation with tech transfer? So you see that there are several parameters. They are talking about the institution aspect. At institution level, what we are doing. And that is why they have given a scheme, right? That any university, if any university is filing patent application, they will give within a year as expedited mode, because we're not filing patent application because of delay in grant. So they have introduced, and in this way, now university is filing more. So IIT Madras has filed total 1400 patent application in entire journey, and Sulini University from Himachal filed 1400 in just 3 years. Right. So this is also outcome. It is happening. I'm not going with the quality and all that, but this is happening. So these are the parameter: institution, infrastructure, knowledge and technology output, market sophistication, business sophistication, and create output. So all are connected with IP. All are connected with technology, right? And by that ranking, you can directly correlate the infrastructure of that particular country. And trust me, whatever in top 10, you wish to live there, because this parameter is exactly telling the infrastructure of that country. Like if I say you are familiar about the Pakistan, the ranking is 88, right? So Switzerland, you are aware. Sweden, you are aware. So Switzerland, Sweden, obviously US, Europe, they are among top 10. So you wish to live there, right? Because of these parameters. So Global Innovation Index is basically attracting foreign direct investment. So this parameter is not small. This is very big. Because of that, we are receiving more and more FDI. Because obviously we have a rank of 40. So obviously these have certain marks, certain scores. This is, I think, more than 250 pages, Global Innovation Index. You can check. And this is required for before doing technology transfer or valuation. Because this sort of thing we are not teaching, right? So if you go through 250 pages, then you will realize, you will compare the valuation in India, the same technology, valuation in US, the same technology, figure maybe 100x, difference maybe 100x, because they respect technology. We do not respect, right? So to understand why government of India and why we are saying even Institute of Chartered Accountant had introduced IP, why we are doing this, what are the reasons? So if we understand the past value, because whenever we are doing valuation, we go with the past as well, right? The cost analysis, cost, market and income, kal aaj kal, right? So we have, in the similar way, in valuation, we have to also understand the past value. Then we will add our things, right? We do, whether we are doing valuation at market method or income method or cost method, we also analyze other model as well, right? So in the similar way in IP, we will also see the concept, whatever legacy we are continuing from the past in IP terms, and where we lost the battle, right? So coming back to past value, I hope it is clear to you. So this is a representation of glorified India. We had a golden tag. There is no doubt about what is the meaning of golden tag. Largest economy, largest GDP. This is the meaning, right? In terms of our accounts. So golden tag was there, and we were holding this particular aspect. But where we have lost this legacy, any idea? And what is the connection of technology and our valuation part? Where we have lost this particular, so whether we can regain, this is also a question. So this is about the concept. So where we have lost the golden bird tag, Sone ki chidiya tag, right? So I am depicting through 4 figure where we have lost, and this was also the reason of knowledge shifting from east to west. So I have just 4 figure to explain the entire story in 2-3 minutes. So this is 4 figure. One is about golden period, other major destruction for knowledge center, second figure, then rise of west, and fourth part is reason for slave. Fourth figure, how it is connected, how it is relevant, why we should know this aspect. There is a requirement, right? So see the golden period. Golden period, we all know that in history that 5th BC to 5th AD is considered as golden period for India, right? So during first AD, our GDP was somewhere around 38%. Before that, it was 53%. Till 1000 AD, we maintain our GDP 28%. Till 1000, we maintain even because of so many invaders, right? So still 1000, we had the golden sparrow tag. Then what happened after that? What happened? So in 1193, Khilji has ordered to destroy the Nalanda University. And they have destroyed everything. That was the only library. That was the center for foreign people and students. They were participating on that part. This is similar like Ukraine happened, right? So they have destroyed Nalanda University. They have burnt entire treasure of our knowledge. They have killed many people, 8,000, 10,000 people, right? So what happened then? Entire knowledge, because on that time there was no Google and there was no WhatsApp, right? So entire book they have burnt. And they have also ordered nobody will do the innovation part. Nobody will talk about innovation. They will just do their part, otherwise they will be killed. That was the order. So what happened then? Just like Ukraine, I'm not saying that it was bad or wrong or what happened. In the similar way, Ukraine, what is happening? It is also wrong, right? But it is happening. So a student from that place, like Indian, I think 1 million students were there during Ukraine war, right? And they have shifted. Now they are in India and they are now going somewhere else because they have to continue their education. In the similar way, what happened? This is a very coincidental aspect that we are not aware. Somewhere around 1209, just after 10 years, University of Cambridge started in UK. So what happened then? Entire student foreign student, they shifted from this place to West place, and they obviously they have started learning many things, and they have also realized that since they have not documented, they have not stamped, they do not have the proper system. So that is why it happened. So we have to introduce a system where we can stamp, we can provide certain aspects so that we can claim the knowledge part. So they have introduced the patent system in somewhere around 1624. And you are aware about in University of Cambridge, like Newton, Darwin, Malthus, Maxwell, Thomson, their theory and their part, whatever they have generated, is already in our part, right? Newton's calculus part and gravity part, it's already there in our things, right? During our golden period time. But they have given these theory and they are known as father of calculus. They are known as father of gravity, right? But how they have monetized these aspects? They have introduced patent system and patent system in 1624. So what happened then? People started filing patent application. What is the meaning of patent filing? Suppose you have certain knowledge, then you have to record the knowledge and it will be available for public after certain period. This is the idea behind patent filing. So suppose I know certain aspect and I'm not disclosing. And obviously I'm not immortal, right? So it happened during our war period. So they have started capturing all such innovation, all such intellect and giving the reward. In this way, what happened? What was the outcome of this introduction of patent system by the West? It converted into industrial revolution. So our entire handicraft, our entire agriculture, mining, they have started filing patent application, and somewhere around 1784, industrial revolution first started. So it means man thinks, the handicraft things converted into machine. This was the first, and by that outcome, people now started filing more and more patent application, and then mass production is started. And that was the reason of slavery for India, right? Because if they are producing in a mass scale, who will be the user? Who will be the user, right? So they have started filing more and more technology. And in this way, 1969, automation, computer, third industrial revolution came. And on that time, India was also struggling. So as per history, nowadays it's the industrial revolution 4. As per history, India was not participated in industrial revolution 1, 2, 3. We have not given any technology to the mankind. So whatever technology generated during this period, we have not given any. Our contribution is zero. Though we can say that they have taken away entire knowledge, but we have not given any sort of technology. And still, if you see whatever technology currently you are using, like we are using Dell laptop or Apple or whatever, right? All are coming from West or China. We are not the producer of the technology. And if I say that these technology has changed the entire world, so what is the relation of value? What is the relation of technology transfer? So here I have one example as well. 1866. You just see the in dynamite. What is written? It is written Alfred Nobel. So Alfred Nobel was the inventor of dynamite. So during this period, in 30 years, he earned so much money that people started talking negative about Alfred Nobel. So he, because of the negativity, he depressed so much. And then what he did, during deathbed, he has donated an entire amount, whatever he earned, to the Nobel Foundation. He has created a Nobel Foundation and donated entire amount. And trust me, whatever Nobel Prize is distributing nowadays, it is coming out from that money only. That money only. So they have created foundation and they have invested entire money in real estate and all that. And in this way they are giving. So currently the award money is $10 million for one, and there are 7 award, right? So they are giving from this money only. So this is the value of technology. This is the value, what sort of money they have earned. And you see, whatever technology, like Thomas Alva Edison has invented bulb. It converted into a major company. He is also founder of General Electrical, GE. GE is a big company, right? So sewing machine, Singer they have introduced this particular part. Typewriter, Remington. So there are so many technology, lift technology. So if you see whosoever has started, now they are ruling, and it takes 100 years, more than 100 years to rule. So Thomas Alva Edison Company was number one in 1995 till 2005 in entire globe. So death of I think he died somewhere around 1911. So what sort of leadership he has given to the company? That company is still growing. So this is the beauty of the technology. So technology is not just simple. Industrial revolution is not just simple. To this is something else. So coming back to the stats again, whatever I'm talking industrial revolution and whatever I'm connecting IP and technology, you see with this graph, this is not my graph. This is given by Angus Madison in OECD in 2002. This graph they have compared entire 2000, entire AD with Indian graph as well. And when you see our downfall started during the industrial revolution only. You just see 1700, our downfall started. So downfall not started because of the Britisher or invader. Downfall started because of industrial revolution. And we always blame. Though Britisher has imposed certain deindustrialization and other concepts, but this was the reason. And still we are not improving. Still we are not giving technology to the society. We are still loving to publish our paper. So this ideology must be there. So whenever you are calculating valuation of any technology, think over these aspects as well, because this is required. Without having these concepts, you cannot value right things. And that is why if we are valuing in India and if we are valuing in US, the difference is major, right? And they will love your valuation. If you are doing valuation of 500 CR, they will love. They will say, oh, this is a minimum amount. Here in India, if you are valuing a company 50 crore or even 10 crore or 1 crore, they will say that this is overpriced. Why? Because we are teaching not there with the buyer also. We are teaching to the professional, but we are not teaching to the buyer. This is also a challenge, right? So I'm in the right direction. Am I right? So in this juncture, we can take a question, because this was about the concept, why there is a requirement, how you can feel whenever you receive an assignment from valuation. So you have to see in this perspective as well. And then we will move for next part, that is about technology transfer, how we will value, what are the attributes, right? So any question, Shruti ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have a couple of questions. So first question is, does IP mean a product company or can it be a service company in tech sector?
Why not? Service and product are the part, right? So if I say service, if you are providing service, like in currently we are talking about ESG. So if you are doing some blockchain related services, if you are doing some other part like connecting your services in such a way that is it is like Uber is what? Uber is actually the service. There is no product, right? So Uber technology is also part of innovation. So service and product both are the part. But if you see the current law in India, we are not providing patent as business method. If certain part is business method, certain part is calculation, certain part is algo, then we are not giving patent on that aspect. So business method is not patentable subject matter, but it does not mean that we cannot do any other part. So there is a copyright available. There is a trademark also available on the brand and all that. So it's all our IP intensive industries, service as well as product.
So moving forward to the next question. How does intellectual property intersect with emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and 3D printing?
So you mean to say that IP, see, for each and every technology, obviously IP is actually the registration part, right? So these part like blockchain, artificial intelligence, and all that are serving the purpose. We are improving, upgrading, and we are registering as per the law. But if you see the entire guideline, whether we have a right kind of guideline in AI, right kind of things, then policymaker are doing, because we are improving a lot. So certain part are issues like software is not part of patent. So if AI is coming, whether this is part of patent, whether this is a part of copyright, so policymaker are discussing on a regular basis, and they are including these part as well, that this is part of patent, this is part of copyright. So we are also emerging. So policies, government, they are also emerging with the technology. And that is why these things are happening, right? Like in G20, we discuss about the unitary patent as well. So IP is a major part, integrated part. Whenever any decision, either from the government side, either from the stakeholder, IP is a major part. They are discussing, because we are ruling through WTO, World Trade Organization. So harmonization of trade we are talking, and World Trade Organization says that each and every product, each and every services, IP is an integrated part. It's a soul, right? So without soul, you cannot do. So this is always a part.
So there's one more question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was referring that Government of India also released a CRI guideline, computer related invention, because there was so much issue regarding that, whether this is patent or this is copyright. So they have released a guideline, how you will file as a patent, how you will file as a copyright.
Thank you, sir. There's one more question. What are some common challenges or issues related to intellectual property rights in the digital age and in the internet era?
See, if these challenges are different from different jurisdiction. If I talk about Indian, so obviously our major challenge is awareness, right? Whether we are aware, because we wanted to file each and everything as a patent application. If you say that there is no patent in this subject, then we generally depress that how come US is giving, right? Because many times we are challenging with awareness level. So I think digital era, you can Google, you can do everything, and you can read anything, many things, right? So many times people are reading from US and wanted to apply in India. So there are conflict as well. So that is why if we take a right kind of knowledge, then obviously we will be in the right pace with the digitization and the AI world. There is no issue. Everything is ready. Law per se, if I talk about law per se or law integration, everything is ready. Kitchen is already ready. We have to just order in a right manner. Still, we are struggling with the terminology: patent, design, trademark, copyright. We are struggling, right? And I'm not talking about the lower level, I'm talking about the higher level. So obviously there is a challenge. So because technology is not industrial revolution 4.0 will not wait for you, that one day you will learn and then you will be part of this wagon, right? We have to improve as soon as possible.
Thank you so much, sir, for the question and answer session in between. We can continue with the session, and rest of the questions we can take up at the end.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So coming back to present part. So here we will add value in technology transfer aspect, valuation aspect, some attributes as well. So we will talk about. So as we are moving ahead with the industrial revolution, and why I'm talking again and again about industrial revolution, because industrial revolution 4.0 is going on. So AI, blockchain, all are the part. IoT, all are the part. So we are into this, right? So mind it, we missed the train first, second, third. We have to be part in this fourth part, right? Industrial revolution 4.0. It might possible that after 5 years, industrial revolution 5.0 will start, right? So as per the basic fundamental differences between these, all IPs are international law. So our IP laws, IP has several types: patent, trademark, copyright, GI, trade secret, plant variety, performance, design, and SIC, semiconductor integrated circuit layer. 8 different types of IP, and we are at par with each and every country. So since it is governing through WTO, UN, and all that, so our patent law is at par with the US, at par with Japan. Though our language is different, our form is different, our act is different, otherwise it's the same. The soul is same. In the same with the trademark is the same, copyright is same. So we are governing through different convention and treaty. Like patent, like trademark, we have a nice classification. Copyright, we have a Bern convention. For design, we have Madrid. No, design, we have a Locarno classification, right? So all these we are part of that. Somewhere we are not part of that because of like Budapest Treaty, there are still dialogue is going on, but otherwise our law is similar. So patent is about new process or product. Patent needs tangible product, and that is why software mobile app is excluded from patentability aspect, because copyright, the software, the code is not tangible. This is intangible. But obviously there is IP within that. If you are doing some mobile app stuff, coding you are doing, then it's part of copyright, because we are using a script. This is just like if you are writing a good script through 26 letters. In the similar way, in coding, you are doing a JavaScript or VB script. You are writing a good code, just like a good script. So how can a script be filed as a patent application? It's a very similar. So like Microsoft Office, Microsoft OS, they never claim that they have a patent right over Microsoft Office, because these are codes, right? So codes are part of copyright, not patent. So like in India, if you see the Global Innovation Index, we have 80% score in mobile app. India has 80% score in mobile app. So our brain is about mobile app, but this is not part of patent. This is part of copyright, right? So trademark is about logo, the trade name, whatever way you are using a trade. If you are using, like Disney is using character as a trade, Anna, Elsa, right? They are using character as a trade. So this is also part of trademark. So logo, in one company like Honda is using various variant, Honda City, Honda Civic, Honda Amaze, all are part of trademark. Trademark is also sound as a trademark, smell as a trademark. Your label is also trademark. Trade dress is also part of trade dress, like earlier Kingfisher was using entirely different trade dress. Airtel is using entirely different. If you have a showroom or cafeteria or any restaurant, if you are using a different trade dress, your ambience is looking same at each and every places. That means this is a trade dress, just like McDonald's or any other brand, right? So this is also part of trademark. Copyright is about expression, only the expression. So if you understand, whatever way you are expressing, this is copyright, right? So if I am expressing in this way, like just like Anil Kapoor got jhakkas, right? That's a jhakkas is a copyright, right? The way he is expressing, but the word he might file as a trademark application, right? So GI is about our legacy. The same thing that we had golden sparrow tag because of GI only. Still we are carrying this, and still in Mandapam we showed our entire legacy, the handicraft, our geographical indication, right? Banarsi Sadi, Chanderi, Kanjivaram. So these are part of GI. Trade secret, in India there is no trade secret act. We are running through CPC. Though in US and other part there is a trade secret law, but in our case this is not a trade secret. We have not separated act. Plant variety, you are aware about green revolution. So this is part of hybrid of plant, because plant per se is not patentable subject. In the similar way, design is what? Aesthetic look. We can recognize any model of car. Maruti 800, Alto, we recognize through their aesthetic look. This is part of design. And then SIC layout, semiconductor integrated circuit layout. These are all patent. So I'm talking about that whenever you are going for IP valuation, you have to first differentiate with subject matter, right? Now coming to tech transfer, major part. So tech transfer, how we do tech transfer, and what is the role, and what is the role of valuation. So whenever we are doing tech transfer, we research our target market. Suppose we have a technology. So first we do the research on target market, whether it's India, whether it's a UAE or Europe, or maybe mix. Because valuation, there is a requirement. If our investors are coming from US, we will do valuation as per US standard, right? So research your target market and then competitor analysis. Who are your competitors? If suppose your competitor is a big company based out of US, so obviously their valuation is entirely different. And if you are comparing, then you have to compare in such a way that it look like relevant, right? Suppose I am saying that my market share is 1% or below 1%. So I have to club this particular part, what they are, because we have to go for an income based approach or market based approach, we have to also calculate. So competitor analysis is also required, whether they are providing, your client is providing, or you have to fetch. You have to also conduct who are the competitors in India, who are the competitors in foreign jurisdiction, and then target your buyer, investor, and user. This is also required. To whom you are going to talk after doing your valuation, you have to ask this question to your client, right? This is not a Excel exercise, right? Excel you can do within half an hour. You can provide, but you have to ask question, what is your target? Why you wish to do, whether it's an investor round or it's an NCLT matter, or you just wanted to give up entire thing at any cost, right? It might possible. Like somebody approached yesterday, he talked that I just wanted to give this particular business to somebody else. I don't want to continue. So obviously he needs certain valuation, right? So you have to ask, and then the real valuation. When you have these aspect, then you do the real valuation, and then finally deal making will happen. So this is the process of tech transfer: research your target market, competitor analysis, target your buyer, valuation, and deal making. Major heads we are going. So, and then finally the monetization. When you done your deal making, then it's a monetize. So if we talk about the patent valuation, what are the complexity, right? Whether it's a simple or it's a complex. So in our valuation standard, also certain part is written, but I'm giving you technical attributes. I'm giving you technical perspective. I am aware that you are learning people, you are doing in a right way, but these are as per our things, like IP attorney is telling, right? What should be included in the patent or IP valuation. So there are 4 factors that we are calculating. One is a legal part, one is a technical part, third is a market part, and fourth is a finance part, right? So in legal part, what we are assessing, what we are checking, what is the legal strength of the patent? Legal, not technical. Whether applicant are just added because of the you can say contribution, or because of the for the sake of entry. So legal strength means if university has filed and there is obviously university name, and inventor has given all the right to the university, whether university to deal with the university, whether this is an easy task there, if is there any policies drafted, because inventor is talking with you. So whenever they will get money, whether they will get money or not, right? So what is the legal strength? Whether the paper is completed before the authority, then what is the legal position? Then we check what is the patent status as filed provisional file, complete file, or it's granted or in examination stage? What are the other aspects? Whether they have filed patent of edition, modification, divisional, right? And then patent term remaining. It might possible somebody wanted to go for a monetization. They have already granted patent and there are term remaining just 10 years or 15 years. So now you have to check whether this technology is updated, whether there is a requirement of this technology, because time is already lapsed, certain time already lapsed, and now we have a remaining time. So whether they can monetize, because this is also valuable. Just because of patent valuation, we have to check what is the current status of the technology. Then the claim coverage, whether this is written well, whether they have granted in a right manner. So you have to check the claim coverage. There is a whenever we are doing technology transfer, only part we are transferring, only part even in prosecution, examiner is checking is a claim. In patent, there are one segment specification, one is a claim. So we always go with the claim part. What is written in the claim? Whatever they are claiming is my asset, and we are going to transfer this. And then the jurisdictional coverage, where they have filed in India or US or any other country, because we are party to 193 countries. So what sort of jurisdiction they have covered? Because IP per se is territorial, except copyright. Each and every IP is a territorial. You have to file each and every jurisdiction. There is no global term, there is no international term, right? There is no global patent, no global trademark. There are platforms available under PCT and Madrid, but you have to file each and every country. And then legal proceedings. What are the legal proceedings happening? Whether they have received any CND, they have received any infringement notice, whether they are filing any claim against any third party, infringement issues, right? And then prosecution status. These are under the legal part, right? And we do generally in IP due diligence. Whenever merger is happening, whenever takeover is happening, we do due diligence. We do corporate due diligence. Whenever we are doing IP due diligence, we check entire aspect, right? So in valuation, we have to check the similar aspect. And then coming back to technical part. What is technical within the technology? So technical in patent, there might be a breakthrough invention. You have to check. So there might be a challenge how you will check whether this is breakthrough or this is a minor modification or major modification, right? Because different patent has a different subject, different technology. Many times technology is very new. It's not written anywhere. So then there is a challenge, right? Then you need a technical person as well to assess, because inventor will say everything about even the minor modification is breakthrough as per inventor. But you have to also check whether this is breakthrough, minor, major, right? And then you have to check license agreement, whether they have given any license, whether they are licensing, whether they have executed any license agreement. You have to check the term, technical term within the license agreement. What sort of thing? Because in pharma, there are many challenges. They have given formulation development to someone else. Formulation, during formulation development, they have given the right that you can take share of 20%. It might possible because they are not paying well. So you have to check each and every agreement in terms of technical aspect, where they have leverage, where they have limitation in terms of the value, or whether they have given certain share, and then rights given, production skills, because it might possible certain part, like we are working in certain IoT based technology for one of our client. The challenge we are facing, no lab has the same capability to develop even the prototype, and we are licensing with Taiwan and China because there is no option. We check at many places. We check with each and every IIT. but nobody has the capability to produce because there is a requirement of certain skills and certain machines. So nobody have in India. So this is also challenge if we are valuing and we are attracting investor for this particular technology, and if we are not able to manufacture in India or manufacture or maybe even prototype, then there is a challenge, right? And then there is a plus B issue. Suppose you have patent for A plus B, but certain people is having A as a right and they are in force in India. So if you are going to manufacture A plus B, you will infringe A. And you do not have a good term with the competitor. A competitor is too big, like 3M, GE, and all that. How you will handle, how you will value. And then the pre-commercial term. What are the all pre-commercial term you have to check as per the policy. If it is university, then policy. If it is company, then entire stakeholder aspect. These are requirement for doing my valuation, right? And then market. So market we are checking because in India there is an issue if we are not going with the reliable data, then each and every time we are checking that market size is 200 CR. Many players are doing. A small player, if there is no data, they are just spreading the knowledge that there is a market size of 200 CR. But there is no market size of 200 CR. There is a market of 1 lakh CR. I face a challenge in hologram and label industry. So we have arranged the market share project to some of the big company because there was no data for Indian hologram and label aspect. And each and every marketing agency, they were referring 200 CR only. When we have calculated, we have given a figure. It was somewhere around 1 lakh crore market. 1 lakh crore. You can check this. This is available at ASPA, Authentication Solution Provider Association. They have released this. So this is happening. So if we are going with the resource, not authentic resource, then there is an issue. Then competitiveness. You have to check the competitiveness in right manner. How you will check competitiveness? There are two ways. One is whosoever is leading in the market and whosoever is filing too much patent application. So you have to check patent database as well as market database. You have to go in both way because it might possible some player like Apple. If I say Apple is also in packaging and they have filed many patent applications. Sony is also into packaging. And suppose we are not considering Sony or Apple, then this is not a right way, right? Because in valuation, generally in our valuation, we are not providing Excel sheet only. We are providing entire dossier, report, the background, the competitor, the everything we are providing, and then we are calculating, right? Because whenever my document, my report will go to any investor, generally, I believe that my document should tell each and every answer. Whatever question they have, my document should tell each and every answer. There is no further requirement of Zoom call to understand the report. If they will ask, if they are asking for Zoom call or any meeting for understanding the document, that means document is not in the right manner, right? So these things we have to cover during the market part, life expectancy of the technology, not the patent. Then sales price, you have to check the right way. Market growth, you have to check in right way. Licensing revenue, you have to check in a right way. Then opportunities, what are other opportunities? You have to also check in right manner, right? So these are also time consuming job when you are doing legal, technical and market. These are time check about what sort of thing you will charge, right? Because most of the time we say that this is Excel sheet, we can calculate, right? Because government client is providing the market shares and the projection client is providing because client has taken from somewhere else, but you have to do your due diligence. And this is the way to do the valuation in IP. Otherwise, there will be a failed monetization, there will be a failed negotiation, because deal making process we do only when we have a good tools available. Suppose somebody's, if you are, I'm giving you a different perspective. We have done like a challenge with buyer, because buyer is not too much aware about these things. So what is happening? Suppose you have valued the technology, let's suppose 20 CR, and client wanted to dilute 10% or 20%, right? So suppose 20%. So it's coming to somewhere around 2 CR. Now one of the investor, they are thinking that 20 CR is too high. So he will say that I will give you 50 lakh rupees and I need 2%. Right? So the valuation is, they have reduced valuation with 1/10, right? 2.5 CR only. Then what you will, because as a deal maker, what is your job? Your job is to keep the valuation at the same pace. So what you will offer, what you have realized, that the investor has only 50 lakh rupees. He wanted to invest only 50 lakh rupees, but he also wanted a stake of 20%. So what we will offer, we will restrict in a different aspect, that there is no issue. You take 20%, but I will give you just 2 states in India out of 28. I will give you just 2 states, or I will give you north side or south area. You take 20%. Right? So this is a win-win situation. I have maintained my valuation. So in this way, he will also think that if they are restricting, that means somebody somebody else will pitch in. So better to increase my rate. So it might possible he will give you 1 CR. Right? So this is the way in patent there are, for your kind of information, whenever we are getting patent grant, we have 4 rights, not just 1 right. Bundle of rights. What? Making is 1 right. Using is different right. Making, using, selling, and importing, 4 rights. Right? So you can transfer right of making to someone else. You can transfer your selling right to someone else. You are transfer your right of import, like Apple was doing or is still doing. In India, who is importing? Apple iPhone. Apple is not importing, right? So they have given the entire right of importing to someone else because of the patent right. So this is the beauty. You can restrict the jurisdiction. Suppose you are dealing with US and you have filed a US application. So you just say that no problem, you take 20% in US jurisdiction, rest of the jurisdiction, I will not give you 20%. You can do that. In some cases, you can also say that suppose you are not going to file in Europe, but some way you also seen that certain investors are from Europe. You can also offer that I'm going to file the application. You take the entire right in Europe. I need this much money, because anyways you are not going to do anything in European market, and some investors are approaching you. So you file the patent application, but the problem is you can file only at certain level. After certain level, you can't. So these are trick to handle deal making process, and we can do only when we have a good report. So why I am emphasizing on report, good report with these attributes, because this will help any other professional to going with the good deal making process, right? So then coming to finance. So obviously you have to check the future cost of development, because it might possible there are more requirement of fund. One is operation cost, one is exit cost, right? Some other promoter wanted to exit, but you need more fund to develop the product. In the similar way, cost of production, you have to check in India what would be the cost of production in China or in Taiwan. That is why we are receiving iPhone from made in China only, because the cost of production is minimum in China. And that is why Apple, US based company, is getting manufactured entire product from China, because if your product is coming from US, then your cost would be high, right? So then investment intensity. What are the intensity of the investor? Business output as well. We have to check ROI. Then contribution to profit, and then capability of IP liabilities. Because we generally, in IP or tech transfer aspect, we generally say IP is not an asset. Most of the time, it's a liabilities, right? Because you have to pay renewal fees. You have to pay renewal. Suppose you have filed 30 patent application in different jurisdiction, then it will cost you, right? Somewhere around 20 lakh rupees just to maintain the application per year, right? So these are the things that you have to check while you are performing or doing any exercise of IP valuation. Same with the trademark, little less. Same with the copyright, little less. Same with the trade secret or know-how as well, right? So I'm just giving you one other perspective in terms of technology, whether there's a requirement of more and more fund in technology. What is happening in technology? And that is why this is very much different from the corporate side, corporate valuation or machine valuation. What is happening in technology? Suppose you are doing technology valuation for provisional application. So provisional application is at TRL level 1. For your kind information, this is given by NASA. This is TRL, technology readiness level, right? So whenever you have any idea, actually this TRL level is zero, right? So when basic principle observed, then TRL level is 1. Then development of experimental design, then it's a TRL level 2. And in the similar way, proof of concept established, then TRL level 3. Then technology validated in lab environment is a TRL level. And for your kind information, why we are lagging with respect to R&D Institute in technology transfer? Because most of the technology coming from the university side is a TRL level of 4 only. And to commercialize or monetize a technology transfer, you need TRL level 9. TRL 9, right? So what is happening? After completing PhD, a student has gone somewhere else. So nobody is taking care of improving TRL 4 to TRL 5 and TRL 5 to 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. And you see, in TRL 5, technology must be validated in relevant environment, prototype demo in critical environment in TRL 6, and prototype demo in actual environment, and actual product demo in actual environment. All are cost sensitive, right? All are experience sensitive. There is a requirement of human, there is a requirement of cost, there is a requirement of large perspective. And many times failed because of these reasons. Because without having TRL 9, you cannot monetize. So this sort of thing you have to also check. Whenever you are performing, check, ask, what is your current condition? What is the level? What are the improvement? Because blood and sweat, they have to invest along with the money. So all aspect, TRL 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it might possible it will take time. Like in pharma, it generally takes 14 years from TRL 0 to TRL 9. 14 years. And we are planning for exit 3 years at 3x, right? What will happen if suppose a drug validated in lab and validated in TRL 5, but it failed during the final clinical trial, and you have valued 100 million, what will happen? So all those consideration is also required. So as per technology, like pharma is very critical, complex, because you have to must have your background from these area, or you have certain colleague having same background. Otherwise, you can't do, right? Because this is not an Excel sheet. You have to check each and every aspect. These are very critical, very complex. Until and unless you are doing all sort of things, you cannot handle, right? So this is as per NASA. The upper part that at idea, what you have to do, trademark, basic principle, TRL1, provisional patent, you have to file. TRL2, you have to file non-provisional. This is given by me. So as per the status, you have to do this. So you can check if somebody has idea whether they have filed trademark, you can check. So in this way, you have an idea of TRL level. If somebody is filing non-provisional patent application, you can easily assess that this is a TRL3, right? If somebody is filing provisional patent, you can easily assess this is TRL1, right? If going for a monetization, then TRL7, right? So coming back to your aspect that you are doing on a daily basis, valuation method. So obviously it is simple: cost, market, income, right? So cost, generally we are doing in corporate valuation. Nowadays, it's also very conventional in corporate aspect, but for technology, it's never useful, right? Because cost might be my idea, how you will value. My cost is nothing. I have certain good idea, might be right. How I will invest in my idea, my intellect. So you cannot value intellect in terms of cost. If somebody is saying that, what is your cost of filing patent application? So my cost is just 10,000 rupees in India or 1600 rupees. How you will value the technology, right? So cost is no more and never used in technology or IP values. So that is why it's entirely different. Market you can, but the problem is we are dealing with valuation. So market, there might be similar technology, but their path is different, because in technology and startup you see that Baizu is going in a different way. Some Akash Institute is going in a different way. So all sort of things. So who is running the show? It also depends. So you cannot take a market. If you have taken a good example, if you have taken a bad example, all are entirely different parameters, right? So market will not dictate the valuation of technology, as per my understanding. It's just a requirement of, because in technology, who is running the show? The entrepreneur, passionate entrepreneur. If you have a passion, you can do, right? Even in the loss part, you can do if you have a passion to increase, right? So market data is relevant, but not too much relevant in IP values. So then income obviously, because market size you are aware, technology you are aware, and if you can also foresee whether this is breakthrough, modification, major modification. You can also add these things that I'm going to add or acquire 5% market share in coming 5 years because of these involvement. So obviously, if market size is going increasing 20% each and every year, and you are aware there's a market size of 1,000 crore, you can easily calculate, right? And this is the right way to do a technology, because suppose there is a technology, there is no company, there is no people, like in university. Technology is there, but there is no people to run the show, and that is why they are not monetizing. So obviously, you have to value that. In startup, there is people, it might be a technology, but you have to check whether they have other attribute. You have to check, right? So the right kind of valuation methodology in IP is income. Forget about market and cost, right? This might help, but there is no requirement, as per my understanding. So the process, how we are doing. So understanding first. So how we are doing. So these are 4 steps that we are doing: understanding, assessment, market, and valuation model. So understanding IP and its impact. First part, what is IP and its impact? Second, competitors and technology. Competitors and their technology, right? We have to understand client positioning. Suppose I am doing valuation for G, one technology coming from G or 3M, and I am doing valuation for one individual from remote area, same technology. The valuation will change because 3M and GM, they have already market share of 30%, 40%, 50%. They can easily acquire this particular aspect. So you cannot value GE at the same parameter and individual at the same parameter, right? Have you ever thought this particular part in Excel sheet? This is a requirement. Whom we are doing the valuation part. So this is required because in this way we can figure out their market share. This is also requirement. So client positioning is also required. USP of the invention. USP, that means breakthrough or modification, whether they can, other people can easily do the modification part. They can also infringe, what are the other aspects? So we can check and then factor that will play, right? Accordingly. So then coming back to assessment, what is the IP strength? What is the freedom to operate? This is also a requirement. Freedom to operate means if you heard the story of Micromax has introduced Canvas. Canvas was infringing many patents from many big players. So they have filed case and they have seized entire product, right? And now there is a association of IT product is SEP, if you are aware, Standard Essential Patent. So they have clubbed, all major giant has clubbed their patent, somewhere around 200 patent application to run any Android platform, any mobile. And they are saying that you have to take license from us, and then only you can sell, and you have to pay royalty. Many players in India, they actually do not understand what is SEP and why we have to pay royalty. Because without using or infringing patent, you cannot sell, or you cannot manufacture a tab, you cannot manufacture a mobile, because there are so many technology, all are live patent, because patent term is 20, right? So LTE technology, the camera technology, so much technologies are there, right? So like we assess for SCL they were infringing 150 patent application. When you launch a product, then obviously there are so many technology involved to manufacture the product. So freedom to operate is required. Otherwise, you will receive notice and you are aware, where is Micromax? After the Canvas, where is Micromax? So this is brutal, right? And many times we are not aware. So then invalidation strength. What is the invalidation strength? Suppose somebody will send the notice, then whether you have the strength of invalidate that patent. European and US market is performing this on a regular basis. We are also doing invalidation for many European giants. So they are sending on a regular basis that this is somebody else's patent. Please provide us the invalidation strength. Microsoft patent, another patent they are providing, because they are going to launch. So they are aware that whenever they will launch, they will receive notice. So how to handle those notices? There is a requirement. These are the assessment that we are doing at IP valuation. I am talking about IP valuation. So we are doing market competition. And then fullest use, whether we have a fullest use, we have a broad claim, these things. Then TRL aspect, technology readiness level, valuation factors. And then market, actual market. What is the actual market? What is the jurisdiction? Actual market means within the segment, right? Whether we are in the segment, then growth trend, then lifespan, then competition, and then valuation model, identifying method, right? Discount factor. This is major one, right? How you will discount, how will you use these metrics, right? And then market share, authentic market report, because all these things required for doing valuation. So now risk assessment. This is about a discount factor, because many times we are taking 15%, 50%, 30%, just we are taking, right? Without having much background of, because we are doing technology transfer valuation, right? or IP valuation. So we need to have the parameters. Even in trademark, we have a discount factor, right? So these things are not too much reported or too much written many places. When you go through reading through the US technology IP valuation books, then some part they are referring, but there are so many theories, so many aspects. So there are challenges. US market is different, Indian market is different. Our valuation standard in IP part is different, right? It's just given. So these parameters is also required in explanatory way. So just see the discount factor, how we are going to calculate. So parameter are need. What is the need? Customer segment, technology, product, substitute product, the strength of the patent and patent prosecution. These are parameters to just assess the risk factor. Need, if I talk about need, level 1 is no existing need. There is no requirement of this technology. Then obviously my factor will increase, risk factor will increase because you, and in the similar way, low need, medium need, these are, and then high need. If need is high, then you will set certain parameter. Customer segment, unidentified. It might possible. If you have suppose you have work upon a blockchain, right? And you are not aware which segment it will, because blockchain will work in traffic management as well as gaming and as well as Bitcoin, but you are not aware, then there is an issue. Then identified and growing slowly, identified and huge size. So these are part. Then technology new and not tested, new and tested but with marginal result. So in the similar way, existing and well established but not growing rapidly. Right? This is about technology. Then product, new and not tested in the market, new but positive feeling, existing, old product, relaunch. So all these factor will play. Old product like i7 to i15. So you know the value, right? Old product but relaunch with certain addition. Substitute product, numerous and very good. This is level 1, right? I'm talking about the level. So how you will score the risk factor. So substitute product and then strength of the patent, very high or low, right? And then patent prosecution. You have to also check the patent document, not just the applicant or inventor name. You have to also check the quality of the patent, whether it's a granted or under prosecution. Many times in India or many places as well, granted patent has no value because the granted claim has no meaning. Because during the prosecution, we are doing on a regular basis, like during prosecution, examiner is not allowing. And how we have convinced that we are taking a very narrow aspect. And we are aware that this narrow range will not work. This is not possible. But for the sake of grant, we have taken. Because other player has already filed the patent. Suppose I have taken a composition 0.1% and 0.9%, A plus B. But I am aware that 0.1 to 0.5 will work in A. 0.1 will not work. But by virtue of different citation, I got only 0.1% as A in patent. That means there is no use. Because whenever you are manufacturing, your composition is not stable, it will not work. Right? So all these factors also play a major role, right, in calculating the value part. So risk factor is also important. So see, this is one of the valuation. Just so I have performed this for a hologram part. This is a patented technology filed in 2019 and granted in 2020 within 1 year because of the scheme. So based on the figure and all that, we have calculated the valuation of the technology, because the applicant, the inventor, is already into the market. So challenge is obviously minimal because they are already into the market. So as per their market share, we have calculated. So this is just example. So when we have checked the market size, though there was no data, but whatever client has provided, as per market size, we have taken somewhere around 8,000 crore market, right? So market size, because hologram and label is like that. If you check any home appliances in your house, you check that there are 5 stickers, 7 stickers, right? So it's a big market. Like liquor is a big market, auto is a big market, pharma is a big market, right? So based on the all things, we have calculated the market size, and we are aware about that this is growing at 20%. And my client has a market share of 1%. Already they are working. So I have taken 1% in first year because of the technology, and accordingly I have increased. I have not increased too much, though the technology is very good. It's a breakthrough technology, right? Because we are providing a different kind of hologram. If you have fix in any place, it will not, you cannot pull out easily. It will be torn and then pull out, and then there are certain security feature, right? So accordingly in 2021 and 2022, what we did, we have taken a market size of somewhere around 8 crore, and we have taken annual growth rate 20%, market share as per 1% we have taken, and accordingly sales volume we have calculated, annual turnover we have calculated, profit margin in this case is 50%, but I have taken 30% because obviously we have to discount. And then PAT we have taken accordingly, and tax deduction 25% because client has started a startup company. So there is a tax deduction 25%, and then PAT we have calculated. And then discount factor we have taken 15%. Not 30%, not 40%, not 50%, because we are aware that client has each and every aspect, production, market, everything. So here we have minimized the discount factor, 15, because this is a good aspect, right? Otherwise, suppose if somebody is coming from university or somebody is coming from individual background, then discount factor might be 50% or maybe more, because I know that they cannot scale up, because for producing a hologram, this is not a printer job, simple printer job. One printer costs you somewhere around 3 crore to 5 crore. Sometimes maybe more than that, right? So obviously there must be arrangement, then only they can do. And accordingly, we have performed currency depreciation and all that. And accordingly, 5 years line, because it's a product line, so we do the 5 years and then terminal value. And accordingly, we have valued this technology 489 crore, right? So we can plug and play, and value will increase or decrease. You are aware, right? How we can play, because market share, if I will increase market share because of the activity of the applicant itself, so the percentage share will, market share will increase. If they will license to other player, because they are connected with other hologram manufacturer as well, so they can license. So in this way, they can also get royalty. I can also include a royalty in this particular aspect, but I have not added. These things we can add. So these are left for the negotiation purpose. Whenever somebody will say that, no, this is huge, you have calculated huge. So we can say that we can also use in a different way. We have filed at 6-7 countries as well, but we have not taken all these because we are in discussion to sell off the entire technology to UK giant in hologram. So we have not taken. So all these parameters have taken, and something we have left for the negotiation purpose, deal making process, because valuation report is just an initiation. This is not foolproof as well, because somebody may object, you may object in this calculation that I'm doing well or I'm not doing well. These are there. There is no issue, but something we have to keep for deal making, because deal making means win-win situation, right? Everybody should win. Otherwise, there is no deal, right? So deal making process, and for that we have to, as a deal maker, I have to keep certain aspect for my client side, so that we will discuss during the, or you can say, to win at their end, right? Not our end, right? This is the way of doing valuation. So I believe idea will not give you success until unless you will strategize. So idea, then a strategy, then success, right? So don't go with the ad, right? So final last slide. Suppose I'm investor. Suppose I'm investor and I have to go with the valuation. So what sort of thing I will see in the report? So, or what should attract? So obviously, if technology or IP has high TRL, then obviously I will go for that TRL 5, 6, 7. If it is a 0 or 1, then I will not go. Even the valuation, whatever valuation you did. So you have to mention high TRL, because whenever you are reporting, you need to provide executive summary. In executive summary, you have to provide these are the factors. This is needed because people in US and Europe, investor in US and Europe, they understand. We do not understand. This is our problem, right? So high TRL, then advance or breakthrough, whether the technology advance or breakthrough, we have to mention. Then patent protection, whether it's protected or not protected, you have to provide the status. Team also, there is a requirement. Full-time team, part-time team, consultant, there is a requirement. So I will check that in valuation as well, because valuation should speak everything, right? Market demand and gap. And then science, whether science validated or not, because they investor generally they are, many times they are from the core area, right? Many times they are not from core area, and they ask many silly questions, and you have to satisfy because they are investor, right? So if your science is validated with the good figure and good reasoning is already there, then they will not ask silly question during half an hour session. Because half an hour session, if somebody has asked a silly question, your entire time has wasted, right? So you have to prepare a report, because they will go through the report and then they will fix a meeting, right? So science must be validated within the report. You have to narrate those part. Technology is, you have to narrate those part. Competitive advantage you have to provide, and corporate structure and governance. Nowadays, governance, we are talking through ESG as well. So governance is required, and India has a very bad situation, right? In governance area, you are aware, right? So governance part, where whenever institutional investor is investing in Indian scenario, they are checking the governance part, right? So it should be reflected. You have to handhold your client while doing your valuation. Sir, please change these factors. Shareholder pattern, right? Because this is a requirement. We are not guiding, we are just calculating. If somebody is providing you stats and you are calculating and giving, it will not serve the purpose. Ultimately, they have to grow, they have to monetize. So you have to work in such a way that you are part of management, right? Valuation, we are not doing as a part of service, we are part of management. Whether we are getting share or not, that is different issue, but we have to. This is the way you have to report your valuation part, right? And then the final part is seed and pre-series requirement, because these requirement you have to also check what sort of money they require, whether this is for seed or pre-series or series. You have to also check, so that it should be clear enough for during the whenever you are drafting the executive summary, it should be there, right? So with this note, I think this is last. So now we are at question and feedback session. So this is complete from my side. Shrutiji, if you have collected question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful session. So there are a lot of questions. I'll start one by one. First question is, does valuation of USA companies are not comparable with Indian companies?
Obviously, there are many factors. If you see the economic parameter, finance parameter, the buyer parameter, so comparison are there, but you cannot say that if you are valuing in Indian context, this will directly apply in US context because US scenario is different. Their requirement like IPO in US is a different, right? In IPO in India is entirely different. IPO, so in US, like I'm giving you, like if two people are working in a company, they already got somewhere around $7 or $10 million or $2 million. In India, if 20 people are working, still they are struggling with 1 CR only. Getting my point? So in India, it's an entirely different situation, and obviously jurisdiction do matter. So jurisdiction to jurisdiction, their financial condition, institutional investor, their knowledge, it's a comparable, always comparable. We cannot say the same. That is why our standard is different. Indian valuation standard is different. US valuation standard is different.
Thank you, sir. So, next question is one challenge that industry faces is technology readiness level. How do we educate research institutes to think commercially and not academically?
See, the problem is there are so many problems. Though national IPR policy is already introduced, right? People or policymaker or government are trying to tell the entire story. But what is happening? We are not taking it seriously. We are like our PhD is not directional. Most of the time, I'm giving lecture in IIT and NIT. So what is happening? I ask a simple question: whosoever is doing PhD, whether somebody is connected with any industry. So most of the time, I receive only one or two yes, and they are not connected. If 5 years of devotion in PhD and they are not connected with any industry, that is a big issue. Because if you are doing research without involvement of industry, that means you are not doing in a right way. It might possible there is no requirement of your PhD work. And I believe that if PhD or research work from research institute is not serving the society in any manner, I'm not saying just the patent and filing patent, any manner, even if you are not serving in terms of your literature, then this is not a right way. And you know how much GDP we are investing in R&D, 4 to 6%, right? So if we are investing and we are not getting, this is a challenge. And obviously we have to educate. This is your job, this is my job. This is a nation building aspect. And that is why we always narrate that IP should be in main course. Even in law, it's not in main course. In CA, obviously we are not teaching. So that is the issue. And because we can, but we should work together.
Thank you, sir. Next. So do you want to add something?
No. Thank you.
So the next question is, can intellectual property be valued even if the patent is yet to be filed or in pending to be filed? Can such intellectual property be valued as per accounting standards as at the end of the reporting period, even if patents are pending to be filed or not yet filed?
Yes, it can be. There is no issue because I said that there are parameters. So if it is granted, then you can score more. You can discount, your discount factor will be less, right? So if it is in filing stage, you can score. There is no issue because ultimately filing means just for your kind information, there is no requirement of patent certificate to do your business. You file your patent application and start your doing business. This is the way the entire world is doing, right? So once you file the patent application, you can value because this is the way you have to market. So now the parameter, it may be maybe as per the condition, as per the breakthrough modification, all those terms I have narrated because of this. So there is no requirement of patent grant in valuation.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, are domain names of our clients part of IP? How do we value them? Can someone register a domain name that contains a registered trademark word?
Obviously, because like shadi.com and naukri.com has more value, right? It's a brand values. This is part of that. So you can track, because there is a methodology for doing domain valuation as well. How many people are coming? You can check your stats nowadays. Google stats and everything is available. So based on the stats, based on the availability, based on the attraction you are getting from your domain, you can easily value. This is just like that. Other platform like entire whatever platform aggregator, like in our cases uh, like Uber, Go, and all that, how they are how they are valuing this part, right, through the traction. Otherwise,
Thank you.
Naukri.com is what? This is entirely the domain, right? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, how do you strike a balance between the interest of the research institute and the commercial entity in determining the value of IP during tech transfer?
This is a very important question, and this is also very complex, right? Because the problem, the challenges with the university, like I discussed with many professor, HOD, retired as well. So they are struggling with the UGC guideline, right? Because they have to follow, they have to teach, they have to check paper, they have to take exam, they have to also engage students. So entire time they are investing in these also. Whosoever has experience, like HOD, now they are working in a different way. So it's a very complex to bring them in one platform. I struggle a lot. I'm still struggling with the industry tie up with MOU. Suppose I have two of my client wanted to integrate with or wanted to sign MOU with the IIT. So we are, since last 2 months we are struggling, because we have already sent everything, but they are not reading, they are not providing anything, because they have exam, they have so many aspects. So academic and industry is entirely different. Their way of working is entirely different, and this is a problem. So
Thank you.
again, that is why in US what is happening, they have introduced the TTO, Technology Transfer Office, right? In India, we do not have any TTO. We have IP cell within the university, but mostly professor they are managing, because this is also a issue of that who will take over the IP cell. So whosoever is having the good stake, they are taking. So TTO means right kind of professional, not professor, not from academic ground. They will run the show. But in India, no universities has TTO. So that is also challenge. Who will narrate? You are the people, right?
Right.
You have to advise. You are advising university as well. You are advising government as well.
So maybe things will change. They are changing so much. They have changed a lot. So the next question is, what is the IP protection available for movie scripts, movie characters?
So copyright, entire character. If you know Gabbar Singh, Basanti, Jay, Viru, all are trademark. They have filed trademark, the character name. I said, if you are using character as a trade, then you can file as a trademark. If you are using just as an expression, then you can file as a copyright. So script, the choreography, the cinematography, the song, the composition, all are part of copyright. But if you use like Disney model is good to learn. Disney is actually the corporate. So Frozen is their corporate, one of the company. Finding Dory is one of the corporate. So they are using each and every character as a trademark, and they are using trade. So stationery belongs to the Frozen, right? So in this way, they are gaining more and more value in their brand. But we are not thinking in this way. Ramesh Sippy has filed all trademark for their character. Still they have trademark, and that is why you have seen that no other film has used the similar kind of character. They have recently filed few objection to some few movies as well.
Right.
So these are there.
So there's one last question. What are the potential tax implications that need to be considered when valuing intellectual property in tech transfer transaction?
See, I am not the right person, because you are the tax person, right? You can answer with, because I'm not from finance background, so I'm not aware about. But whatever tax, because see, one is if you are taking license, right? if you are taking license from any, then there is an implication of TDS only, right? Because you are taking as a license, as a product, as a license. When you are taking over the entire technology, then this is your part. So there are certain government scheme, there are certain SEBI regulation, there are certain income tax regulation that you are more familiar than me, because I am not dealing with tax part.
So thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful session. Before we formally end, I will just like to make a small announcement that all the participants can view the previous sessions organized by the Valuation Board, Standard Board of ICAI on the YouTube channel of ICAI by the name of ICAI Tube. So you can subscribe to the challenge and channel, and all the previous sessions are available there. However, no unstructured CPERs will be awarded for those sessions. Unstructured CPERs are only awarded when you log into a session and see it live. So again, thank you so much, sir, for your knowledge, for sharing, and it was a really great experience. We learned a lot out of these sessions, and there are more than 1,500 participants that logged in for this session, sir. So
Thank
it was
you
a
all
great success.
for listening and your patience. Yeah.
Yeah, so as we conclude this session, we extend our sincere gratitude to our speaker, Lalit sir. And we also express our gratitude to our chairman, CA Hansraj Chukji, vice chairman, CA Preeti ma'am, and the entire support team of ICAI. We would like to acknowledge and appreciate our audience. Thank you so much for dedicating your valuable time and for your active participation. This participation is a tremendous source and it motivates us to continue further. So thank you so much. Until we meet next, stay informed and keep learning. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.